everyone. Welcome to Mic Drop with Julia, where we get to see a person behind the title. And today I'm very happy to welcome Linda Powell, who is the former Deputy Chief Data Officer of Bank of New York Mellon, and she was a Chief Data Officer at OFR, and she was at Citi. Welcome, Linda.
Thank you. Happy to be here, Julie.
So I have a question for you. What do you wish you knew when you started that you know well now?
That's a great question. My biggest wish for my younger self would have been for the same wish I would have for both my professional self and my personal self. And that is, I wish I had known to not worry so much. Throughout my career, I fretted over every promotion I didn't get, or every job offer that I thought I desperately wanted that I didn't get, or I can't tell you how many nights were spent tossing and turning over a project that's not going well. And I don't think any of that worrying or fretting actually helped me do a better job. I think you don't want to go through life sort of Pollyanna, like, oh, everything will just be fine. You still got to put the work in. I often say that luck is when preparation meets opportunity. But I would trust in the process more and trust in myself more. I've always figured out the next step. When the one door closed, you figure out which doors are open, or you crawl through the window, as they say. And every time I've had a door close, I found that in the long run, I was happier that the door was closed, because it led me in a different path, a path that got me to where I ended up. And I'm very happy with where I ended up. So I think it's important to recognize that it's all fine.
Yeah.
At the end, and it's the same thing with my family. I worried about how long my kids were in diapers and were they going to have the right friends. And as an adult, I now realize I had very little influence on so many of the things that I worried about with my children, that I wish I had just enjoyed it a little bit more. And the same thing with the career. I wish there's a couple times I wish I could have just enjoyed my career a little bit more in the moment.
Yeah, it's hard, especially in the beginning, you feel less in control. So you worry about how you're going to get to be more in control of what's happening and what you do. And then once you get in control, you start worrying about a whole host of other things.
Oh, yes. Yeah. But in reality, there's not a whole lot that we control. There's a lot that we can do. We can prepare, we can execute, we can drive, and we can always be driving towards better. I had a CFO recently who liked to say 2% better every day. And I really liked that philosophy. If you're just 2% better tomorrow than you are today, those percentages, it's compounding interest. I wish I would lighten up on life.
Yes, and trust yourself more. That's a great one too. Okay. All right. Well, second question, because we can keep talking about this. Yep. But let me get to the second question. So, and I think it's probably going to be related, but if you were standing in front of a room of data management professionals, what would your advice be?
Start with the business. Anyone who's a data management professional today knows you need master data, you need metadata, you need to understand the flows of the data. Architecture is highly important. But what's most important at that time, you'll learn from the business. And it also gives you then the opportunity to share how doing the fundamentals help the business do their work. My favorite story is when I started as the Chief Data Officer at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. They created a Chief Data Office for me to join the agency. And when I went in, everyone I met with all of the senior business leaders, and everybody was saying, everything breaks every day. My dashboard breaks, my data's too big for the infrastructure. And so I just went and met with all of the leadership and found, I think it was 4 things in common that they all had concerns about. And they didn't talk to me in data language. They didn't say, oh, we don't have master data for this, or, oh, I don't have metadata. They said, I'm really not sure what the universe of clients are, or I'm having a hard time speaking to the different parts of the organization because we're not using the exact same words. So I started with the top complaints that I got from people, and it was master data and metadata. And one of the biggest areas, which I think is common across a lot of companies, is data discovery. And so I kept talking about a metadata catalog, and they were like, no, we don't need metadata. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, well, what if, and we put a whole presentation together, what if we could go from it taking 2 to 4 weeks to determine whether you have the data you need and how to access it, or if you need to go out and do a procurement, because on average it took 2 to 4 weeks for people to get that information. What if I could shorten that time to 2 minutes? So you go from 4 weeks to 2 minutes. And everyone said, that's impossible. So we put together a metadata directory, and we went from 4 weeks to 2 minutes. And of course, everybody was thrilled. On day 1, they were all thrilled. On day 2, everybody was unhappy because, okay, now I know, but I can't see the data and I don't know how to access it yet.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
What to do? Yeah.
Now that's step 1. That's the beginning of the traction. Let's figure out how to get the rest of the way there. But there was a business problem where I don't even know what we have, and I don't know how to get access to it. And so tackling that first led to the building of the foundation of the metadata, and it also led to the building of the foundation of all the next steps that you would want to do with your metadata repository.
Yeah. I mean, can't argue with that. Start with the why.
Yeah.
Yes. Why are we doing this? What are you going to get out of it? What's going to be the value? And then find the smallest thing you can do to help with that problem that moves you forward.
The business wants to see forward movement. Yes. So if you can show the value a little bit at a time, that's much better than saying, oh, wait 6 months and I'll give you a big bang project. They would rather see the progress as they go along. And I would rather they see the progress as we go along, because one step will help define how you build the next step. Yes. The first metadata repository I built, we did it over the summer with a summer intern and a MySQL database. And it just transformed the way we did data management at that organization. And again, it was on day 1, everyone was like, oh my God, this is fabulous. I love this. And on day 3, they were like, but wait a minute, I can't click on all this information that you tell me to be able to drill down further. And I said, well, that's your user requirements then. So we spent the next several months gaining the user requirements. What else would you like to be able to do in this application? Rather than spending the time collecting, people told me as they were trying to use it, what was valuable, what wasn't valuable. And there were a few things I had put in there that I thought everybody would love, and people were like, no, get rid of that. So we didn't waste more time on it.
Exactly. Well, excellent advice. Thank you, Linda. Thank you for coming to my show.
Happy to.